Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
What's happening, people? Good morning, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. My name is Andrew, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in many retail and institutional Forex brokerages in Europe. Follow me in this amazing journey and find out the hidden corners of Forex trading. Learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know and get rewarded for learning. You can find all the links in the description down below, guys. And if you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe us on your favorite media channel and support us in delivering more great content. This show is proudly sponsored by our partners at Forexy and Markets.com. European markets open, and my guest for today, the man that took Forex trading to another level, Joao Monteiro, coming up. And we're back. Here's what's happening in the markets today, 19th of November, 2020. European indices are seen opening lower today on COVID rising cases and protests all over Europe. European Leaders Summit kicks off today at lunchtime, and probably the most discussed topic will be the virus measures. Crude oil prices head downwards as demand worries and COVID-19 rising cases spook the markets once again. Gold futures traded as low as $18.57 overnight, and Bitcoin is taking a break around the $17,700, giving back some gains overnight. Welcome to the European trading session, everyone. Let's have a quick look at a couple of interesting articles, and in a couple of minutes, guys, we're going to welcome my guest for today. What do you say? Right. Feel free to type your comments, type your questions. Let us know if you're struggling with anything. What do you think about our broadcast? And I'll do my best to answer all your questions towards the ends of the broadcast. Let's start with a couple of interesting articles, guys, and see what's expected to happen today. European stock markets are seen opening largely lower today as optimism surrounding the latest vaccine news yields to fears for the immediate future due to lengthy lockdowns. At 2 a.m. Eastern Time, the DAX futures in Germany traded 0.1% higher. CAC 40 futures in France dropped 0.9%, and the FTSE 100 futures in UK fell 0.8%. Recent positive news from Pfizer with the final results of its COVID-19 vaccine trial showing it had a 95% success rate on Wednesday, and earlier Thursday, news that Oxford potential vaccine showed encouraging immune response in older adults have had a limited impact on the market, especially with the likes of the UK, Italy, and Spain this week reporting their highest death tolls from the COVID-19 virus since the first outbreak in the spring. Governments have resorted to partial shutdowns throughout the continent to combat the recent surge in COVID cases. And while there has been some success in reducing the rate of infections, it has come to a high economic cost. The European Central Bank projects the real GDP will fall by 8% in the euro area in 2020. But ECB President Christine Lagarde warned this week that the region's economy was taking a bigger hit from the second wave of pandemic than expected. Additionally, Hungary and Poland are now threatening to sabotage the release of hundreds of billions of euros of pandemic relief and budget funds following a row over the rule of law within the European Union. We're going to get more details in the hours to come. EU leaders are set to hold a video conference later today to address the holdup in the release of these funds, which are seen as vital given the escalating health crisis and risk of double-dip recession. Oil prices also edged higher today, consolidating after climbing to their highest levels since early September during the previous session after a smaller than expected build in U.S. stockpiles. Yesterday, the crude oil supply data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration showed a 768,000 barrel build for the week to November 13 against the forecast 1,650 million. On Tuesday, the industry-funded American Petroleum Institute had reported 4.174 million barrel crude gain. U.S. crude futures traded 0.6% lower at 41.47 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent contract fell 0.3% to $44.22, both remaining well above the $40 mark. Elsewhere, gold futures fell 0.7% to 1860 an ounce, while the euro-US dollar traded 0.1% lower at 118.49. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin, guys. As things stand right now, we see Bitcoin currently trading at $17,669. It's apparently well supported by the 50 moving average from what we see there. It gave back some gains in the last 12 hours. Where do we take it from here? That is the question. Where do we take it from here? What's going to happen with the Bitcoin in the days to come? And that answer might come from my guest, which I'm going to invite to join us in less than 1 minute, guys. Stay tuned. We're coming back live with Joao Monteiro, founder and CEO at Forexc, in 30 seconds. All right, guys, and as promised, we are coming back live with my guest for today, with Joao Monteiro. Joao, very, very good morning. How are you?
Very well, and you?
Good, always good. Very early in the morning, though. How do you feel this morning?
It's good. It's good to start early to follow all the excitement in the market.
There is a lot of excitement indeed in the market. How is Forexc doing, by the way? It's been a while since we spoke.
Great. No, everything's going well. As planned, we have been obviously focused now on the release of the new competitions portal, which is practically completed. At the same time, we are working on integration with a few more instruments and assets, which I believe can be differentiation for us comparing with other brokers. We keep actively adding new campaigns, new trading tools as well for our clients. We are very soon also will be releasing an indicator which will be free for all Forexc clients, where they will be able to see our trading signals straight on the MT4.
Wow.
So
okay.
We are actively we don't rest yet.
Well done. Right. This is the first time we speak after the elections. It seems that we both lost the bet regarding the US president. What do? Call it even and wish Joe Biden all the best?
We call it even to wish good or bad. Obviously, I wish the best for Mr. Biden. For me, as obviously, we want is just stability at the end of the day. So I think the transition will not be as smooth as we expected.
Yeah.
They wished. Let's say I don't think Trump will make the life easier. At the same time, we need to see an outcome from all the court cases regarding the votes and how this will progress until the end of the year. I also feel that we might see maybe some impact from Trump with a few decisions which might be less orthodox until the end of the year. But that's it from Mr. Trump. We can always expect the not the worst, but the unexpected.
The unexpected, yeah. I laughed so hard yesterday when I saw that Joe Biden encountered such difficulties from Republicans in regards to the stimulus measures. And it got me thinking, maybe the problem wasn't the president. Maybe the problem was the Senate.
Yes, I think that the Senate will not make the life easier for Mr. Biden. But at the end of the day, I think that the stability will come only when, in fact, the transition is completed, or when Mr. Biden have a more relaxed environment around him. Because at this stage, everything is still a bit unclear, and obviously in this kind of uncertainty, it's never easy to work, and also it can open for us traders overall good opportunities in terms of volatility in the market. So there's the good and bad.
Yeah, let's put it this way. I would not want to be the US president as things stands right now.
No.
Now, there's a lot going on the markets in the last few days. Vaccine news, Bitcoin going through the roof, never-ending Brexit talks. We got a positive news regarding Brexit yesterday, let's say. EU announced they're very close to potentially signing a deal. I don't want to talk about it until I see it signed and stamped. Stimulus measures and the markets don't seem to be able to pick a direction. What's going on? Are the markets reacting more to the news these days?
Definitely, I think that the impact of COVID, the news about a solution with a vaccine, this in Europe, and you know that Mr. Lagarde is quite positive always regarding stimulus. So we are obviously waiting for some news on that regard. But yes, I think the news are having a huge impact, and assets like Bitcoin, as we mentioned, gold, at the long run, I think they will increase in value. Bitcoin is not very far from reaching the high history point price of 20,000, and so we are looking at it. But my understanding is that we have a huge impact of news now, and people are every day looking for information in order to help them make a decision on their trades.
Yeah, and we saw the market's reaction a few days ago. Now, talking about the vaccine, what do you think, Pfizer or Moderna? Who do you think will release the vaccine sooner?
It's still unclear. I think we are talking about two big names. It's not a matter of who's going to come first. I think everyone is trying to their best, and I think this information is never as clear as it might seem. I think obviously I don't think someone coming out with the information of 90%, 90% or 95%.
95%, yeah.
Might represent anything at this stage. I think they are still running some checks. What I feel that is extremely curious is the fact that the release of this information was just 2 days after the US elections, which comes in a very curious timing.
There's something going on, yeah. There's something going on, you're right.
I don't want to go into the conspiracy theories, but I feel that there's something going on. On the other hand, I think it's just a matter to see what's going to happen. But definitely, I expect that by in the next couple of months, we should have something a bit more concrete in terms of what is the vaccine and what shall we expect on that.
So you think it's going to take at least a couple of months until the vaccine actually gets to the people, to the population, and the COVID madness starts calming down?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Now, there's a lot going on in the economic calendar today. We have a lot of news going on, but the most important one, at least from my point of view, is what's happening in Europe, because we saw big protests in Germany. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. Today, we have the European Leaders Summit, where most probably the stimulus and the lockdown measures will be mostly discussed. Here's a tough one. Who will recover faster from this madness that spread all over the world? Europe or US?
It's very difficult to predict. Obviously, it will depend on the measures, on the stimulus that we'll see now in Europe. We might see even a double dip recession again in Europe. We will need to see how it goes now in Europe and the reactions in terms of this COVID and the second lockdown. In terms of numbers, I don't think the data in Europe was that bad, so it gives some hope for
That's why
Europe.
I was asking.
Huh?
That's why I was asking. Who do you think will recover faster, Europe or US? US got hit really, really bad, man. Really, really bad with the second COVID wave.
It might be Europe, considering Lagarde being positive on the stimulus side. I think Europe might recover faster, but it will depend on how the things will progress also in the US, because it's
bad. It's bad, and it's getting worse as things stand right now. I saw breaking news earlier on. Apparently, New York shut down schools, and more states are implementing very, very tough measures.
Yes, it's very, very unclear, and it's a sad moment around the world. But I believe that we'll need to wait a few more days to understand.
There's one thing I don't get, though. In all seriousness, there's one thing I don't get. How come people are protesting when it's obvious what's going on around the world, and you see the death toll rising day by day? What do people want?
I think either they have too much free time, or I honestly also don't understand. I think this uncertainty, as I mentioned, gives people action, and that's what I was mentioning initially. That it's extremely important to have this matter in US, this transition completed, because I think people are completely losing hopes. They are obviously all this period of lockdown. This was, if you see it clearly, it was almost a complete year that many businesses lost. So it's the COVID started end of February. So we are talking about almost a full year of not being able to operate normally for many businesses around the world, and so people start to feel that we need to do something. And obviously,
protesting is the best way forward.
Revolution?
Yeah,
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's important people to understand that this is something that is affecting people all around the world. The only way to, in my opinion, to overcome it is with a vaccine, or keeping everyone aware that the solution is in themselves, and not passing the virus to family members and people around them. So it's appealing to the conscience of each one of us, I believe, at this stage, and waiting exactly for that vaccine, because there's I don't think that revolution will cause a different direction at this stage. So patience is the key, as in the markets.
You know what's funny? People that are protesting, and they're burning the same shops where they work. So they're upset that the business is shut down for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then they go and they protest and they burn the same shops. Right. I see an easier, and I said it all the time, I see a potential easier way around it. Wouldn't it be much easier if the governments come forward and they encourage people to get their holidays? Yeah, because many people have holidays, and try and persuade them to take 1 month full lockdown, and then things get back to normal. Instead of locking them down for a week or two, you see the cases are increasing, you see the people are nervous. It's like no one is explaining to the population that, guys, we need to take 1 month off. The country will not shut down forever if we take 1 month off.
It will be a very good decision. But there's always people who do not agree, and we have always our own opinion about things, and so it's difficult to control a population on that basis.
Well, this is the thing. I wasn't talking about controlling. I was talking about sending a parental message to everyone, basically. Take your holidays, stay home 1 month. We have to do it, all of us. And then things should get back to normal. But anyway, let's get to one of the hottest topics that I keep talking about every day this week, the Bitcoin, the good almighty Bitcoin. I fell in love with this cryptocurrency long time ago, but now I'm more in love with it than ever. Yesterday, Bitcoin broke the 18,000 level and then started pulling back a bit. It's currently trading somewhere around 17,720. Were you surprised by the rally, or it was kind of predictable?
Well, for me, it was predictable, considering all this situation we are living. I think when there's a crisis or when there's an uncertainty, as I mentioned, the gold and Bitcoin at this stage are the safe havens for an investor. I
Gold doesn't seem a safe haven anymore. Gold is currently trading at its lows, 1860 for gold, somewhere there.
Yes, but my opinion is that will rise again in the next few weeks. But that's my opinion. On the Bitcoin side, I believe that we are the continuation of targeting. If I'm not mistaken, on the Fibonacci, if you trace the Fibonacci levels, we might see ranging between the 16,000 and the 23,000 mark. So we might see a small pull down up to the 16 mark, and then continue up to 2022, 23. This is my understanding on the Bitcoin, reading the charts. But I also feel that we need to understand that there's, comparing to 2 years ago when we reached that
December 2017, the 20,000, the all-time high.
Yes, at that time was mostly retail investors, as you can understand, because at that time Bitcoin was still unclear. What is this? Which kind of asset is this? So there was no institutional trading at that time. This kind of asset. Now we have funds. We have billions of dollars from institutional side investing in Bitcoin. So we are talking about an asset that is now backed by institutions, and so the power of purchase of this kind of asset is much higher than 2 years ago. So we see that it's way more easier now to reach that mark than what was 2 years ago. So that's why I believe that that mark will definitely be something that will be tested again. And I think we'll pass it if this environment around the world continues as it is.
That's actually a very good point, what you said back there. A few years ago, we had the hype among retail traders. And as years go by, and as everyone saw the hype, now we get closer to a world regulation. We get the big boys, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. We get countries talking about issuing their cryptocurrencies. That's a very well said point. Now, let's move on. Have you heard of the richest Mexican that keeps 10% of his wealth in crypto?
Yes. He's clever, and his diversification is the key.
Right. Now, I wanted to ask you, did the Bitcoin trading volume increase with Forex in the last week or so? Did you see an increase in trading?
Not on Bitcoin and other altcoins as well. We currently offer, as you know, on the Bitcoin CFD, we offer in both platforms, MT4 and MT5. Altcoins currently only on MT5, but we are also integrating it now to MT4, so soon it will be also available on MT4. And it's been, in fact, something that people have been looking for. I think from hedging and from covering their assets, let's say, some people like to use it. And why? Because, as you know, people might have Bitcoin or other cryptos, and if they want to invest within the foreign exchange market, normally the brokerage don't have base currency Bitcoin, so the clients are always forced to exchange their Bitcoins in order to trade.
Right. Okay, I'm with you. Yes, something happened. Something flipped the camera. No. What are you?
So it's people like to manage and hedge this exposure exactly with opening trades long. Mostly of them are long at this stage on the different altcoins and Bitcoin, exactly to cover this exchange that they did. Bitcoin to fiat in order to invest in them in depositing their trading account. So
It's great.
it's
Yesterday, I was talking to George Agathangelu from Cyprus Blockchain Association, and I asked him the question: is now Bitcoin being heavily used as a hedge against inflation and against the conventional assets? And I think the answer is clear for everyone.
yes, it is definitely.
Quick one. What are your trading conditions on cryptocurrencies? I mean, I know your leverage is higher than the European brokerages.
Then in terms of leverage, we have higher leverage on the CFDs than the average. We are talking about around 1 to 100 on the crypto side as well. So it's interesting. Obviously, on the FX side, we go up to 1 to 400, which is way above the levels that we know in Europe and soon also in Australia. So we, in terms of leverage, in terms of facilities, we are quite generous on that level.
And apart from that, your trades are audited.
Of course, yes. No, we have all our trades, as people can find on our website. We have all trades verified by an entity called Verify My Trade, which is part and is related to the Financial Commission, the entity that covers our insurers.
And you also provide the Investor Compensation Fund.
Right. So this Verify My Trade, every month we send the full report of trades to this entity, that the trades were open at the right price, and so it gives this extra verification. And for us, it's a peace of mind, also because it guarantees that our execution is flawless, and this is the only way to be transparent is exactly to show that all this execution is verified.
Very well done. Now, question: do you think it would be a good time to go long on Bitcoin right now? It doesn't seem to be creating higher highs, and the pullback that happened yesterday or last night worried me a bit. Would it be a good time to go long? Because people like to go long after a pullback. That's what traders do.
I know, but as a wise man said, when everybody talks about some assets in the coffee shop, it's time to sell. So we need to be careful on that regard. I would maybe wait for the support level around 16,000 mark, and then probably buy that dip on the 60,000.
That's where the 200 moving average is. Yeah, around 16,000. Right. Okay. So wait and see what's going to happen. Yeah, that's the key word.
Yes.
Right. What would you recommend in terms of trading these days, Joao? FX, commodities, stocks, cryptocurrencies. What's an asset class that's steady?
I think it's. I personally like always to trade assets with liquidity. I think the majors, gold, crude oil, Bitcoin, I think now are the main assets which are affected, and there's volatility involved in result of all these events. So I would focus mostly on these assets that not only are more volatile, but also there's more impact of news. And I think for a trader, we want volatility, so we want a market to take a direction. And I think this is the best way to identify trends and to benefit from the trade.
I'm with you. Okay. Until then, caution, caution, caution. Yeah, we might have some big swings in the market. At least that's what's announced. Let's see how the protests in Germany go today. Hopefully things will calm down. People will understand, and hopefully the vaccine will calm things down even more. Well, Joe, thank you ever so much for being with us today. I'm so happy to have you. I enjoy talking to you every time about the market. And I'm cooking something now. I am cooking something. I'll get back to you in a couple of days with more news. I need your opinion on it, and who knows, maybe we're going to do a big project together.
Great. Happy. Looking forward.
Right, Joe, thank you so much for being with us today. We're gonna come back to you in a couple of days. Guys, we had Joao Monteiro with us today. Joe, have a great day, my man. All the best.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Everyone.
Right. Joao Monteiro, guys, now let's have a quick look at the charts of the day, guys. Are you ready for the charts of the day and the signals of the day to see how the markets open this morning? We're coming back live in 30 seconds with the charts of the day.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
And we're back, guys. Let's see how the markets open today. We are 33 minutes into the European Open. I'm going to start with crude oil as usual. We saw a bit of a drop last night in crude oil, and it started trading sideways for a bit. Half an hour into the European trading session, crude oil futures trading at 41.82, 83. And by the looks of it, targeting at least the 50 moving average at 41.65, if not the 200 MA. Let's see what's going to happen. I thought oil went into an uptrend, to be honest, guys, and I'll show you why. Right, I'm going to draw a trend channel, basically. There we go. That's the trend channel that I want to draw. Right. So we saw higher highs. We saw higher lows, yeah, and that made me think that oil got into an uptrend. Let's keep an eye on this level as it's very, very important. If it's going to break the level, it might go down and test the 200 MA. Okay, if not, from this point here, from 41.65, what we see here on the charts, it might turn around and aim higher, yeah, towards the 43 level. As things stand right now, we see a bit of divergence between indicators. We see the RSI and stochastic. The RSI is pointing downwards, and the stochastic seem to be turning around, but it's still trading at its lows. So give the markets a bit of time, and let's see what's going to happen. And as a confirmation, guys, we're going to try and get the signals shortly after the charts. Maybe we can help you with a bit of direction from investing.com today. There we go. Euro US dollar currently trading at 118.33. It's currently testing the 200 MA. RSI stochastic turned around. They're both pointing downwards. There's a lot of pressure on the euro, guys. A lot of protests in Europe. More European countries announcing lockdown measures. And this COVID pandemic seems to be unstoppable, at least as things stand right now. So there is a bit of potential for the downside today for the European currencies. Let's see what's going to happen. The pound, what's happening with the pound? Just like the Euro USD, the pound is moving downwards, currently trading at 132.18, testing the 200 moving average. RSI stochastic very close to the oversold levels. Okay, a lot of selling power on the pound as well as things stand right now. Let's have a quick look at USD JPY, which, funny enough, in the last 3 hours or so, pushed a bit higher. It's currently trading at 103.92, and we see it testing the 50 moving average. However, it's still below the 200, still below the 50. There is a lot of pressure on the US dollar as COVID cases in US keep rising. The Republicans seem to be against stimulus measures. Joe Biden is encountering a bit of difficulties in the transition to the White House. So there's quite a bit of pressure on the US dollar. Many analysts were not seeing the US dollar strengthening anytime soon. That's midterm, long term. Aussie dollar, US dollar, guys, this morning trading at 0.7280. Currently, again, just like the European currencies, testing the 200 moving average towards the downside. RSI stochastic pointing downwards, very, very close to the oversold levels. Let's see what's going to happen with the Aussie dollar. Will it just test the 200 MA, or will it push lower towards the 0.7225, as that's the previous support level? Let's see. The next couple of hours will be critical. USD CAD, guys, USD Canadian, which got a bit of gained a bit of strength yesterday on the US trading session, dropped a bit on the Asian trading session, and in the last couple of hours started pushing higher. It's currently trading at 131.02. It's moving above the 200 moving average on an hourly chart. RSI stochastic pointing upwards close to the overbought levels, which usually indicates a bit of buying power. Let's see. Overall, USD CAD is more or less trading sideways. Yeah, we can see testing the 200 MA for the third time as things stand right now. Let's see what's going to happen. We're going to have a look at the signals in a minute. The S&P 500 and the Dow Jones took a downturn yesterday, guys, closing in the red and moving slightly below the 50 moving average. Probably they're going to move even lower to close one of the gaps. Yeah, it's not unheard of. It's not unseen of. We might see the S&P 500 pushing even lower today, testing the 200 moving average towards the 34.7940 level. Let's have a quick look at the Dow Jones. Very similar trajectory for the Dow Jones as well. Moved below the 50 MA last night at closing, and we might see we have a big gap, guys, which hasn't been filled, and the gap is somewhere around the 200 MA, somewhere around the 28,578 or 28,500, and we might see the Dow Jones pushing even lower today. Let's see. The US dollar index is currently pushing higher. It's settled above the 50 MA. It's currently trading at 92.58. It's pushing towards the 200 MA at 92.70. Still has a bit of space to go. Okay, so we might see the US dollar pushing higher, and that can only mean one thing, guys. Gold futures will push even lower. Wow, what a big drop for gold. 1857.95 for gold right now, way below all the three moving averages. RSI, stochastic are literally crawling into the oversold levels. Gold is currently trading at a very important support level, around the 1853, 1857, exactly where it's trading right now. If it's going to trade lower, look towards the left, how important the support level is for the US dollar. 1853, only 3 points away from the current market price. The question is, if that level is going to be broken, where to next? Where is gold going to move next? Let's look at it on a daily chart. And the daily chart gives us an answer which some people might not like. We might see gold pushing even lower towards the 200 moving average on a daily chart, as low as 1813.76. That's where the 200 MA stands at 1813.76, 1813.77, somewhere in that region. And looking at the bottom of the chart, guys, RSI, stochastic still pointing downwards, but they're not in the oversold levels just yet. So tremendous pressure on gold futures as the markets literally don't know where to go. We're looking at Brent oil futures on a daily chart, guys, which is currently trading at 44.30, and we have some resistance from the 200 moving average to the upside at 45.01. Very, very close, only 70 points from the resistance at 45.01 for oil. We see RSI stochastic trading quite high. They seem to be turning around. We don't know yet what's going to happen. Maybe we're going to get a clear indication from the trading signals from investing.com in a minute. Silver futures, just like gold, guys, currently trading at 24.023, pushing downwards. The next stop, looking at the charts from the technical point of view, might be 23.81 or somewhere even lower. We might even see silver pushing lower to 23.500. RSI stochastic trading at their lows right now. Lots of selling power, guys. And let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin, which again seems to be retracting, giving back some gains overnight. Still trading high. Let's remember, guys, Bitcoin is 160% up for the year and 17% up this month. So we're still trading at its high, 17,508 for Bitcoin right now. We might see targeting the 200 moving average, trading lower, as Joao Monteiro mentioned a few minutes ago, and also as George Agatangelo mentioned yesterday, these swings in Bitcoin, we don't have to be surprised from it. We might see testing the 200 MA at 16,587. The question is, where do we take it from there? What's going to happen next? Is it going to go into a sell, or we're just going to have a tiny pullback to the 200 MA and giving a lot of traders good entry for long positions on the Bitcoin? Currently, we're looking at Ethereum on a 60-minute chart versus the US dollar. Ethereum also gave back some gains overnight. It's quite astonishing how this chart is very, very similar to the Bitcoin chart. 468.62 for Ethereum right now. Again, it's apparently targeting the 200 moving average to the downside at 458.12. RSI stochastic turnaround pointing sharply lower. There is potential for the downside for cryptocurrencies, guys. Keep an eye on that 200 MA. We might see it reached at some point today, probably before the US markets open in a few hours. Right, quick look at the signals, guys. One more minute and then I'll let you go. We are 42 minutes into the European opening today, 19th of November 2020. The market should have settled by now. We see strong sell positions on the euro and the pound versus the US dollar, at least on three of the time frames. So until the US open, guys, the euro and the pound might push lower. USD JPY and USD CHF strong buy on 3 time frames. So again, the US dollar might push a bit higher on the European trading session. AUD USD strong sell on 3 time frames, on small time frames. Again, that indicates a bit of weakness in the Aussie dollar and gold as well, and a bit of strength in the US dollar. Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar, just like the Aussie, strong sell on 3 time frames. The daily remains a strong buy though. And Euro JPY, 4 strong sell on all 4 time frames. Wow, okay, the euro is set to take a big hit, probably on the back of stimulus measures, probably on the back of the European Leaders Summit today, and on the protests in Germany. And let's not forget, guys, Germany is basically the mother of the European Union. So, to be honest, I'm a bit disappointed. I was expecting a bit more from German people, but anyway. Right, this is how things stand right now. Let's have a quick look at commodities, guys. Quick look at commodities. Maybe we get a clear indication. Yes, and we do get a clear indication. Gold and silver futures, strong sell on all 4 time frames. So the US dollar is set to strengthen a bit today, guys, against European currencies, gold and silver, at least until the US markets opening. Right, US wheat, again, 4 strong sell on 4 time frames. Okay, this is the clearest signal we get right now. We just saw crude oil WTI and Brent oil turning into a strong sell on a 5-minute chart. Crude oil WTI and Brent oil apparently short positions, sell positions on both of them, at least as the signals on investing.com are showing us right now. One more quick look at European indices. Almost an hour into the European opening, guys. There we go. Negative opening on the European indices. FTSE 100 strong sell on 3 time frames. CAC 40 in France strong sell on 2 time frames. And the DAX, guys, strong sell on 3 time frames. However, the daily ones remain a buy. This was it from my side, guys. Join me in the afternoon where we're going to have Neil Wilson for the US markets opening, chief market analyst at markets.com, for another amazing round of market talks. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.